Hey everybody, it's me, Liv. So tonight I'm just working on some embellishments that I'm doing for some swaps that I have coming up, and I thought I would just craft along with you guys and give you maybe some inspiration on things that you can do for this as well. So here it is. This is just a simple scallop with the circle on top. I've taken one of my banners. I have some of my tiny sentiments that I have cut out. A couple of butterfly pieces that I have here that I'm just going to actually put this one on top. I might have a tiny glue stick somewhere in my stash that I'm going to go look for. Put a little bit of a sentiment on here, and I would pretty much be good to go. One of the glues that I particularly love is this art glitter glue, but it can take a lot and spill out a lot if you don't have the good nozzle. So that's one I'm working on. Now for something like this, I use all these, and I'm sure you guys have it when you're cutting papers and you have these just little strings that are lying around, and that's pretty much got to be my focus. Now how I did that is really just taking a scallop and cutting it in half. It's not too complicated. So just gotta kind of fool around and see kind of what is the thought that you had there and what it is that you would like to achieve with yours project. So again, I'm going to have some of these here. I think I'm going to bring this to the focus. Off-centering also works really well. Oh, I want a pink one. When you're working on something like this, and I'm going to take one of my sentiments. I think this one will work nicely here, and that one's set for me. So let me glue everything down. Now again, when you do yours, yours can be just as ornate or as little ornate as you want. It's completely up to you when you're working on your project. Sometimes I'll start something and then I'll start sticking other things down, and I say, oh, that's really nice too. I like that. Because for something like this, there really isn't, as I said, so much a right or wrong, but just kind of what strikes you at the time. Now, if anyone has any suggestions on a really good glue pen, feel free to comment below, because that is something I constantly struggle with, is finding a good glue pen for when I want to do projects like these, because I will often find that I want to work on something and I just can't find a very good glue pen to work with in regards to this. I have another one of these banners that I think I'm going to pull out this time. But let me add a couple more layers here to this. Again, this is going to be similar to ones you've seen me do before. And it's just all about what it is that you want to bring out to the piece. I've decided I don't even want to use any of those. Come out over here, and then a sentiment, and then this one is good for me. So position as you want. I think I want another color here, so let me see if I have a better color. That kind of gives you just a basic of what I like to do. Again, you can do as little, as much. I'm going to throw a little bit of pink in there just to break up the monotony. Now, when you're wondering if I get all of these, a lot of these are just from my collection and my stash of little sentiment stamps that sentiment dies that I buy. Tend to get them at Hobby Lobby or on clearance somewhere. There's no particular companies that I like really when for this type of thing. I just kind of get wherever I get. So these are 3 that I've made and layered, so that hopefully you can see them a little bit better for an upcoming spring theme embellishment swap that I'm in. So just wanted to give you some ideas. Don't throw out all those scraps, because you never know what exactly is going to come to you and what exactly would work for whatever project you may be needing to make your own embellishments on. All shapes were through, all different angles work well. So remember that when you're working on a project, to keep those little shards. And I'm sure you can come up with something very creative with all of them. And let me see what good sentiment will go here. Oh, this pops off nicely. And I think that's what I'm going to do for that one. I tend to like to use my score tape, but again, my Tombow is one of my favorite glues, but you can really use any type of glue here. Wet glue works well if that's what you prefer to use. I feel like the Tombow just gives me a good adhesive that I don't necessarily always get with some of the other glues in my collection. And the other thing you're going to notice is I change my mind constantly. I think that's okay, because that is part of the fun of making these. It's just I just kind of see what I want to piece together in my little embellishments. So ta-da, I have 4 done. That's exactly what I needed for this particular swap that I'm working on. So hope you guys get a chance to give it a shot and make your own embellishments and find things that will go together and not waste any of those little scraps that you have piling up on your desks, I'm sure, right now. All right, have a good night. Hope to talk to all you guys soon.